Hello everyone, welcome back to another video and my little Ficus Benjamina pre-bonsai that you can see here. That today is actually going to go into its first bonsai pot that you can see here. A very simple glazed little ceramic bonsai pot. I looked at it now for a couple of weeks. We did a lot of it already in previous videos, so we cut it back quite drastically, we pruned it, we grew aerial roots on it. So I think it is time for it to actually move into a bonsai pot at this point. So I thought let's do a video about this, basically potting it up, so getting it out of this pot, probably cutting back the roots quite considerably by what I expect from this pot here, then potting it up in the new bonsai pot, and finally maybe giving it a bit of a trim still if needed. Something I thought about maybe actually cutting it back a bit here, developing this into a new leader, also cutting it back a bit here, so still changing the shape probably quite considerably, because right now I'm not really a fan of this V here that is forming, with this one definitely becoming the new leader. Not sure I like this as a potential new shape of the tree. I'd rather like the curvature and simply the structure of the branches here quite a lot actually, and quite more than here, so I will probably cut it back to here, have an off branch. But before we do that, let's put it in its new pot, see how it looks in there, and then decide basically what we're gonna do with it. So, of course, the first step we have to do is take it out of its existing pot. I have a lot of clay pebbles in here because I simply do have the feeling that the plants are doing quite well with these clay pebbles. So I try to keep as much of them in here. I really almost exclusively used it for this bonsai because it has done very well in it. That of course also means we have not a lot of soil to work with, as you probably will see in a second. So as you can see here, it's mainly simply clay pebbles. Let me take some of it off. And then we actually can see how much soil we have at hand. I will move this out of the way because I have something put underneath here anyway. I think actually we'll need additional soil to put into here, because if I look at it now, here the pot, yeah, it might actually fit. So let me just take off as much soil as possible. Look also at the roots that we have here. So what I actually like to do is use just a chopstick and then loosen the soil with that, so we don't damage any roots. That might happen when you use just your hands for it. So a chopstick is my go-to tool to clean the earth or the soil off of the root ball. Luckily, with those clay pebbles, we do not have a too dense root ball. You can see there is a lot of root mass, but it is already free of soil because it was not in soil. So we can easily clean off the rest of the soil this way. So here it is a bit more dense, I can see. So I'm going in here a bit more. We will definitely also cut back the roots. Some of them, I think, are too high up, so they will be unsightly in the final pot, especially as one of them here that you hopefully you can see, it is a bit thick, and too thick in my opinion, so it does not really add to the nebari of the tree, so I will get rid of that. So let me see to still get some of it off. We do have quite some soil we can work with, so I don't think I need additional soil, especially as I do want to mix some of the clay pebbles that I have here in this cup still back into it, because it just makes the earth or the soil a lot more airy, and all my other ficus are actually really doing great in this mixture. And this one has been doing quite great in it as well. So here we go. So ficus, they do tend to have quite thick roots, so they have the tendency to develop very thick roots. As you can probably see here, it's almost like the ginseng forms that are known, of course, for this very thick roots that are then planted above the soil to give it that look. But ficus in general do have these sorts of roots. So here a bit more. We do have some very, very long roots that I'm definitely going to cut back. This one here, probably I will cut back quite considerably. And I would say let's do this right away. So this one here, we do cut at this point. Ficus in general, in what I have had an experience with them until now, they are quite forgiving when it comes to cutting back the roots, so they do recover quite well. Of course, you need to leave some roots on it, otherwise it will suffer, but they can deal with quite a lot of mass of the root ball basically being removed at a point. They do bounce back from that. So actually, let me think. This one here is a bit thick, but actually if we have this underneath the soil, it still gives it like a nice structure here. It is trying to show you that it has like a lot of nice radial looking roots. So it's definitely something nice to work with. So I might not cut back too much on it. I just need to check if I would be able this way to fit it in. There is definitely one in the back that is a problem here. So this thick one here, so we will take this one out. Probably quite considerably. So right at the stem basically. I think I will need my garden shears for that. Yes. So we have a fresh cut here. Some soil we can still take out. This we move to the side. So we do have still nice root mass on it. I wouldn't cut back too much else. Well, this one here is anyway, we cut it. We might take this out completely. Let me check, we have it in here. Yes, we will take this one out completely actually, because it does not really add much to the tree. Anyway, to open it up here a bit. And I think then we can already see if we would be able to fit it in. Yes, it might be a bit too high still, because we have one root that is growing down here. So we might need to cut that one back too. I think it is this one here that is very bulbous and in the way. Yes, it is this one here. So let me try to see from which point. Here is an offshoot, so I could take out just basically this lower part here, and then it should be fine. So this is what I'm gonna do. Good. Then let me look from which side I would see the front, so definitely this one in my opinion. And then we would add it in. Let me see. Now it would actually perfectly fit. I was wondering if I should wire it in. As you can see here, I prepared some wire. However, as this is one of those pots where the upper side is more narrow than the room inside, normally I don't have problems with trees jumping out of pots like this. So I will give it a try without wiring it in. What I of course do put in is some mesh, so to cover the drainage hole that you can see, so the soil is not leaving right away with the first watering, so it retains the soil. So we put in the mesh over the drainage hole, put in some of the soil that, as I said, I'm gonna mix some clay pebbles additionally still in. So I'm really reusing the soil here because it does benefit the tree simply because it's used to this mixture. I know it's doing well in this mixture, so why change it? So let me try to place the tree. See if we still need to cut some of the smaller roots. We might, but of course we also have the aerial roots that we need to put into the soil. The awesome thing here now, of course, is we can choose where to put the aerial roots, in which direction we would like them. So this one actually would look quite nice on this side, I think. Yes, I do like that. This one down here should also hold. So basically, to have it a bit off the side, I think I would enjoy, even though we want to use this one as the new front. So we might want to position it a bit differently. That is the question now. I think like this. Having this one going off. Cutting it back to here. Yes, this could definitely look nice. So what I'm doing now is filling out the pot with the soil we have here. Still a bit more clay pebbles would do the soil good. So let me just add that. Take the soil. Now only in the beginning roughly fill it in, just to give it some stability already in the pot here. Also, of course, from this side. And in a second, once we have like the initial layer of soil, what we're gonna do now is we take the chopstick again and we make sure we don't leave any air bubbles in here. I can already see here there's a lot of space still. So we will need to go in with the chopsticks, making sure we really fill out all the areas around the roots. So later on we don't have problems with having air in here, root rot maybe with water collecting in certain areas, to just have soil wherever we need soil. And as I said, in these bonsai pots I can already feel now how stable it actually is. So that works very, very well. Good, so let me check again with the chopsticks. Because also here with the roots, I might actually, to make it a bit more interesting, leave some space underneath the roots to have like this little, give it more, just something interesting to look at with some opening here in the back. That already looks quite nice. Maybe something I also should add, the soil here that I have right now. So I did water the tree yesterday still, so the soil is a bit moist. I do prefer that when I'm repotting, because too dry soil can often then not give you the desired depth afterwards. So here you can see basically now the final plant in its pot. I really made sure I filled out all the areas here with soil. It seems very dense and compact now, but still should let in enough water when watering. What I'm doing now is just looking at it and probably making some smaller or bigger adjustments, I'm not quite sure yet, to the overall structure of the tree. I feel it was a bit too heavy on this side, so let's take this one out. And I'm still not sure if this one should become the new leader, and I basically cut this one back to here. It might be too drastic, especially what I hate is that I would lose this really nice aerial root here in the back if I do it, which only leaves me with the aerial root here and a tiny one here in the front. What I will definitely do is shorten this one just to see how it will look like. But it is too top heavy, it doesn't really have a structure this way, so I really do think I need to take it out. Also cut this one back a bit. It will change dramatically. It will lean more towards this side in the pot, which I do actually enjoy when I think about it. So I think we will have to do it. Sometimes there needs to be some drastic adaptations to in the future make it look nicer as a tree. So still here, we will sooner or later wire this more in this direction. Until now I don't want to add too much. This one will grow inward, so I'll take it out. So for now I will leave it like this. I will make sure this one develops more in this direction to really fill out the center of the tree again. So basically to really have the center also above, to give it just this very harmonic shape in the future. But for now I would leave it as this. This one here will have nice branching definitely also in the future. So I'm not too unhappy with how it looks right now in the pot already. Really just a small bonsai tree that has been now basically 3 years in the making since I bought it. By then I would say that Ficus Benjamina was already roughly 3 to 4 years old, but definitely something I will keep developing. But I do already see a great improvement in the trunk, in the structure of the branches. So definitely something I will keep working on. I really enjoy working on, and I will keep you updated on it. If you have any questions about this or how I potted it up in this bonsai pot today, simply leave them in the questions. I will answer them as soon as I see them, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.